Hero Motor Corp is finally into the AV market with Vida, and this video is my first review about this bike. The first look of the showroom itself is amazing. It's so huge, so spacious and so exuberant that it feels something very special. Now this bike, it has two models, the Vida Pro and the Vida Plus. And now these both bikes look exactly the same except a few changes in between them, like range and the seat quality and the comfort value rated. Apart from that, rest everything remains the same about these bikes. So let's start with the review of the bike. The first look of the bike, it looks extremely unique. It has a design for its own. Starting with the headlamp, it's very bright in comparison to rest of the EVs that we have in the market. This comes with the projected headlamp with LED, which means if you are riding opposite to the bike, your eyes won't feel the glare of this light hitting your eye. And then as you look around the bike, you start to feel that the design is very interesting. It has this extremely smooth matte finish across all three colors. Yeah, by the way, this bike comes with three colors: orange, white and black. All three colors have this beautiful matte finish all across your bike. But the problem is, the frame of the bike is not that high quality as you would expect. It's not metal, it is some kind of plastic. You see that the seat itself is very different than what you see in any of the bike. I'll talk about that later in detail. It has these side headlamps which look exactly similar like a normal bike that you see. They are tiny and projected outward just like any of the other Hero bikes. Unlike Ola, Ather, Okinawa, whatever the design they have, which are inbuilt onto the frame, this feels very different. Now from behind when you see the bike, it feels very cool and very inventive in nature. But apart from these, there are a few things that are very special and unique about this bike. They are that you can swap the battery of the bike whenever you want and you can charge them, which is an amazing feature simply because there are no charging infrastructure across the city. Now with this you can have a spare battery with yourself that you can charge it and carry with yourself, and when your battery range is zero, you can simply swap the battery and drive again. Second beautiful feature, special feature, the dashboard, which is extremely beautiful. The best dashboard I have ever seen in any of the EV right now. And the third special feature is this very huge boot space. I'll talk about each of these things in detail. And the fourth best thing is a fast charging network, which I am sure you'll absolutely love. So with this bike, you don't need to carry a key with you. Just like Ola, you have this remote which is extremely similar to like a car. You can unlock your bike, you can lock your bike, you can turn on the headlamps, open your boot space simply with this remote, which is a cool thing to have. Who wants to carry a keys with them? At the seat of this bike, the Hero Vida, is very different and very strange. Simply because when you unlock your boot space with your remote, but when it opens as these two parts. The front and the back are separate over here. That is for a reason. That's because you can customize your bike seat as you want, based on your comfort. How inventive is that? How cool is that? Now there's one more thing with the seat. It seems pretty cool. It feels very comfortable when you sit on it, but the quality of the seat isn't as good as you would expect. Now for the Pro, the seat comes with a leather cover, which is softer and comfortable to ride on, while the Plus model, it comes with this rubbery thing which is not as comfortable as you would feel. It feels a bit low quality. But apart from that, the most important thing is that when you ride the bike, upon these seats which feels very broad and comfortable, you don't actually feel it comfortable on roads because the suspension of the bike is very bad. I can say that this is the bad suspension that I have seen in any of the EVs right now in the market. If you want me to rate the suspension of the EVs right now in the market, I'll top the one for Ather, and next Ola, and then probably Revolt, and then this. This thing has very bad suspension, like while riding on the plain roads, we could feel the hardness of the road right on the seats, which is extremely bad experience, I would say. And now once you start riding on the bike, the next thing that you notice is a footrest. If you are the rider of the bike, the foot space for you is very comfortable. It's very broad, very spacious and very comfortable, and you can carry enough luggage in this space. But for the pillion rider, it has a very broader footrest, by which I mean, if you have ridden on Ather or Ola, the footrest of it is so close to the body that you don't have to stretch your legs to find the footrest. But for this bike, you have to stretch your body a bit to feel yourself comfortable and on the footrest, which I'm not sure how comfortable it will be for longer rides, but probably I'm sure you'll be used to that once you start riding the bike. And then the next important part is the handle. I'm just simply in love with this handle simply because it has all these simplistic plastic buttons, unlike the rubbery buttons that Ola had. Remember in this video when I spoke about the Ola, I expressed my worry and my unhappiness that the Ola came up with these rubbery buttons, which is not practically helpful while you ride on the roads. But this bike has plastic buttons for literally everything. Everything, I would say. Say for example, this indicator on the handle, it has even this neutral switch. So which means you can just turn the indicator to the left and hit on the neutral button. It comes back to normal again. I have never seen such a switch in any of the EVs that we have currently in the market. Along with that, there are this various number of buttons across the handle, which definitely would take some time for you to get used to it. But I am sure you would fall in love with this handle as soon as you start using this. You have this power button as usual and this indicator switch. On top of that, you can find 4 arrows, which is extremely similar to a gaming console joystick, right? Which means there is no need for you to look at the dashboard where you ride to pick something. Once you have enough practice of riding the bike, you can just watch the road and then use these knobs to play around with the dashboard. Along with this, there are very interesting features to the other side of the handle. To start off, you can change your riding modes on the bike, which we'll talk about in detail in some time. And you have this kill switch, which will simply turn off your motor, and you have this emergency switch. Now the dashboard has this interesting feature called SOS. What it does is, if there is any emergency while you ride on the bike, all you have to do is hit on this SOS switch and it triggers an alert to your emergency contact, which is super interesting feature of a bike, right? I don't think there is any other bike that offers this feature. And this handle comes with another feature that you would absolutely love: regeneration. You can regenerate battery through your handle just like you do on Ola or Ather. All you have to do is turn your accelerator knob to the other side and it will start to regenerate your battery. I mean, the effect of regeneration won't be much, but an extra kilometer or 2 kilometers when you're doing a longer drive or when your range is very less will add a lot of value. Talking about the side mirror of the bike, it's very broad, which you often find with rest of the Hero bike. The Hero is extremely experienced and known for these things. These are the things that I have learned from rest of the bikes and they have applied the same here. So I am sure you would love the side mirrors of the bike. Along with that, with the headlamp, what you find is a guide me home feature, which means once you park your bike and as you walk towards your home, if the place is dark, this feature enables the headlamp to be on for a few seconds, giving you time to walk to the door, unlock the door and enter into the house. After probably 10 seconds or something, the headlamp will turn off by itself. This is an interesting feature, right? You will find a similar feature on Ather as well. Probably they might have learned from this. Now coming to the most important and beautiful part of the bike, dashboard. Undoubtedly, this is the best dashboard on any EV that I have seen in recent times. I personally have an Ather, it's been a year, but I have started to hate the dashboard simply because it's not responsive. It takes a lot of time. If I choose some option on the dashboard, app on the dashboard integration isn't as good as I want it to be. But Vida dashboard, I can confidently say that you will love the dashboard absolutely. It's extremely responsive and the touch experience itself feels very smooth and very comfortable. You will just love touching the screen. And of course the responsiveness of the dashboard is very good. You can just swipe on the screen to change your driving mode. This has 4 ride modes, by the way: Eco, Ride, Sports and Custom. Yes, the custom ride mode. If you have the Vida app, you can create your own driving mode according to your needs. You can custom the driving mode onto this bike, which is absolutely fantastic because no other bike will offer this. We are restricted with 4 ride modes with whatever they offer. But with this, you can create your own drive mode, which is very interesting and very cool and pretty exciting for the AV market, because this opens a whole lot of things for rest of the bikes to explore around. Along with that, to the left of the dashboard, you can see your ride statistics, your ride performance and all those things, and of course your charge and the range left on your bike based on your driving mode that you choose. You can save your documents, and then you have this feature of switching between the light mode, dark mode, and of course the auto mode, which turns to dark as soon as sun sets, and of course the brightness of the screen and the Bluetooth connectivity with the dashboard to your smartphone, where you can play your songs, you can take calls or reject calls from the dashboard itself. Apart from that, this dashboard is protected from this shield that you have in front, which I think it protects the dashboard from the dust that accumulates on the screen, which is a predominant thing on Ather. It's been an year for me, and I can say the dashboard accumulates dust pretty often, and I am supposed to clean it all the time, and you can still see the marks of dust at the corners of the screen. But for this, that is solved, simply because there is no frame onto the dashboard and there are no corners, and the dashboard is protected from the dust with this plastic frame. Yes, it is a plastic frame, it's not as strong as you expect it to be, it's pretty fragile and it's plastic. The quality itself of the entire bike is completely dependent on the plastic frame. There is no metal anywhere except at the handle and few other parts of the bike. And of course the bike comes with this enabled feature to connect to your mobile app. Hero has literally put sensors everywhere on the bike, on your tires, on your handles, everywhere. You can find all these diagnostics on the app. If there is any failure at any part of the bike, a push notification will be triggered to your bike, which is super cool feature, isn't it? Along with that, you can custom your riding mode through your app. You can upload documents, and of course you can check statistics of your ride through your app, which is an awesome thing to have along with this bike. And now comes the most interesting part of the bike, the battery and the range. And the bike comes with a range of 95 kilometers in its eco mode. And of course, if you ride in sports mode, ride mode, or if you ride faster, range drops, which is pretty decent range for now, but it's not up to the mark, I think, because while rest of the bikes are running to achieve more range from the bike, with Ola, Ather topping the race with a range of 130 kilometers, 105 kilometers, 95 kilometers. I'm not sure how practical will this be, but they solved this with this ingenious idea of replacing the battery. Yes, this bike comes with replaceable batteries. You can swap the batteries if the charge is done, and you can replace with new batteries if you want to ride longer. Along with that, you can charge your batteries while it is inside the bike as well. And the way you do it, you have to plug in the charger to a socket, a power socket, and then from there, the other end of the cable, it goes to this plug onto the bike, and this plug is connected to the batteries, and you can charge your batteries this way. Also, if you want to remove the battery from the bike and charge it, you can do that as well. Now, the advantage this offers is that even though the range of the bike is only 95, it might come in real world probably to 90 or something if you ride faster. In that case, if you want to ride longer, all you have to do is swap the batteries with other pair of batteries which are charged. Extremely simple, right? I really like this feature because in Ather or Ola, if the battery dies, you have to search for charger to charge your bike, and there is no option for you to swap the batteries for longer rides. I mean, I understand the advantage of integrated battery gives. If the battery is integrated, they can work around with the efficiency of the bike. They can increase the range by extra 5 kilometers or 10 kilometers. But if it is a swappable battery, the range falls down because the efficiency of the bike isn't high. But still, to be practical, having swappable batteries adds a lot of advantage for me as a rider, because I can ride longer. I can stay confident that if my bike dies and if there is no charger nearby, I can still ride if I have this extra battery with me. I really appreciate this feature. What do you guys think? Please do let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Along with that, the bike comes with a 5-year warranty, which is a decent warranty period for an EV. Also, if you are worried about the quality of the bike, because the frame is plastic, it has swappable battery, and it is a new bike into the market, how safe will that be? Don't worry about that. Hero has tested this bike for 2 lakh kilometers and then they launched into the market. I'm pretty sure they would have taken care of the quality of the bike, and the cost of maintenance of the bike is extremely less because it is Hero and they have a huge network of shops across the country, and the parts aren't as premium and they are not the metal parts, they are plastic parts or the rubbery things and the plastic switches, it won't cost you much. Like for example, for Ather, I recently went to change my side mirrors from Gen 2 version to Gen 3, and the cost of it was 1800 rupees, with 1200 rupees for the pieces itself and 600 for labor charge, 1800. But with Hero, it might not cost you not even more than 600 rupees because they have this huge network of shops, and the cost of maintenance for Hero, as you know, is not expensive. Along with that, they have this cool feature called buyback feature, which no other EV provides you at this moment. If you own a Vida and by less than 18 months, if you want to sell the bike to purchase a new bike, or if you want to upgrade your bike from this version to next version, the company itself will buy the bike at 70% of its cost. Of course, it has the terms and conditions, but that's a very cool feature which no other EV offers you right now. Like me having an Ather from 2nd generation, I cannot swap my bike to 3rd generation for extra range. And with this bike, you get roadside assistance and on-site repair for the bike, which means while you're riding the bike, the charge went to zero, you don't have a range in it, or your bike broke down, some repair happened on the bike, you can call the customer care and someone from the company reaches that spot and repairs your bike on spot. And also they can also provide you roadside assistance, which means towing your bike to a charge or something like that. And now comes the most important and the loud part of the bike, the charging network. Currently, there are very few EVs which have charging infrastructure built across the country. Something like Ather has already been doing it for more than 2 years. Of course, the chargers aren't as many as required. Yes, the fast chargers are crowded all the time. Ola is starting out to put in the hyperchargers across the cities, across the country. But Vida already has a fast charging network across the city, across the country. Now, the most important part of this is that the charging pin of Vida is exactly the same as like Ather, which means you can practically use the same fast chargers that Ather provides for this bike as well. Now the fast charging network of this bike has simply doubled. It has a fast chargers built by Vida itself, and it has the fast chargers built by Ather. It started to create the community of fast chargers, you see. Until now, every EV had its own charging point. Revolt had its own type of charger, Ather had its own, Ola had its own, Okinawa had its own. But with this, I very positively think that some congruence can happen, some connection can happen where all the bikes come together and start to decide to have single charging pin for all the EVs to make sure all the EV bikes thrive together, and so that the EV ecosystem starts to grow in the country. Now the charging time for the bike is somewhere close to 1 hour if you are charging the bike through the fast charger, and if it is a normal charger, it takes around to 7 hours or something for the bike to get fully charged. The interesting thing of the fast chargers is that it has 2 chargers for each charging station, which will prove its worth once the volume of the bikes increase. Like for Ather, I have been complaining since many days that it had only a single charging point at each of the charging station, which means anytime you go, there is someone plugged in and you have to wait there simply to get the fast charger to be available. And then once you get it, you have to wait some 1.5 hours more for your bike to get charged. Just simply waste of time. Now with this, you have 2 charging ports, which adds extra flexibility for you to charge your bike, along with the fast charging network that Ather has, because the pins are same, you see. And now talking about the boot space of the bike is very big. It's not as huge as the one you get in Ola, of course. You can comfortably put your fast charger into the boot space along with your full-size helmet. If you ask me if I can do that with Ola or Ather, I'm not sure. With Ather, you definitely can't. With Ola, I don't think you can. Or maybe you can with tight squeezing of charger to smaller spaces. But with this, you can do that comfortably because of this huge boot space. If you want me to rate the boot space in comparison, the first one will be Ola, second is Vida, and then Ather. Now this bike comes with front and back disc brakes. It has these very broad tires which gives very good grip while you ride on the roads, especially the muddy roads. But when you ride the bike, you see, apart from the suspension which was bad, the experience of riding the bike was very good. It had very minimal noise and it felt very smooth and under control, especially with this handle with a lot of features to play around with while you ride. This bike offers you a top speed of 80 kmph and you can achieve a speed of 40 kmph in less than 3 seconds, which is a really good thing for an EV ride. And by the way, The difference between Vida Pro and the Plus is that the Vida Pro comes at a price of 1.6 lakhs in Bangalore and the Vida Plus comes at a price of 1.5 lakhs in Bangalore again. But the range that the both bikes offer is the Vida Pro offers you a range of close to 95 kilometers true range, while the maximum range that you can achieve from the bike is close to 160 kilometers, which is the idealistic range that you can get. But on road, it's only a range of 95 kilometers, and the Vida Plus offers you a range of 85 kilometers. Along with that, the seats will change for the Vida Pro and the Vida Plus. The Vida Pro comes with a leather seat, which is soft and comfortable, while the Vida Plus comes with this rubbery seat, which isn't as comfortable as the Vida Pro. Apart from these couple of things, there is no difference between the Vida Pro and the Vida Plus. Now, what are my thoughts about Hero Vida? Is the bike Hero Vida for you? If you are someone who wants to ride this bike inside the city and who wants to have the flexibility of not depending on fast charger network, who wants the flexibility to carry the charger with yourself in case of emergencies, and if you want to have a low maintenance cost, then this bike is yours. You can happily take it at a compromise of solid build quality, at a compromise of good suspension, at a compromise of the speed and the range of the bike. But if you are someone looking for a better range, if you don't care if the bike has swappable battery or not, if you really care about the design and the structural strength of the bike, then I recommend you to wait for some time for a better bike. I can still recommend you Ather or Ola, but still they are not the best right now. You can either pick one of those or you can wait for some time for the ideal EV to come for you. But if you own Vida, I am sure you'll love these features on the bike for sure. First thing, of course, the dashboard. A beautiful, responsive dashboard on the bike. You'll love it. Second thing that you'll love is a swappable battery. You have this confidence that you can ride anywhere, irrespective of your range left on your bike, because you can swap your battery anytime. This swappable battery you can carry in your boot space directly. That's the beauty of it. Third thing, of course, is the boot space that you would love in this bike. Fourth thing is the custom drive mode that you can create for yourself. If you own this bike, you will definitely love these features, along with the fast charging network that you get with this bike, which is a combination of fast charging stations of Vida and Ather. If you own this bike, you will absolutely love these features. But there are a few compromises like suspension of the bike, the seat comfortness of the bike, the quality of the bike, the performance of the bike, the pickup speed of the bike. If you are someone who are ready to take up these pros for these compromises, just go for it. Are you thinking to buy this bike? Please do let us know your thoughts in the comments below and your experience of riding the bike. See you in the next video.